Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Tuesday, November the 29th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Outside versus inside, part 4 with Walmal. As always, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and different from Walmal's. Walmal, first, let's just let people know what we're talking about outside versus inside. We're not talking about bars. We're talking about your head, your body, what's outside of you versus what's inside of you. And most things outside of you can't control, like what happens on the chart. Other than placing your entry and exit, your stop and your take profit, there's really not much else you can do to the market, because the market's going to do what the market's going to do. There's too many other traders involved. But inside, there's so much you can control. You can control, your emotions, your attitude. You can control whether or not you follow your plan. There's just so many things on the inside. And that's why we spend more time talking about the inside versus the outside. Because the system, you can have the best system in the world, but if on the inside, if you're not functioning properly, you're not going to be profitable.
Yeah, and you're exactly right about that. Just for full transparency for everybody, I've had a miserable day. I hit my limit of what I'm willing to go lose on a particular day, and I've pulled the plug. And just I'm not going to trade, anymore, and that's just the way it is. And so that's probably the one good thing I've done today. That was the one thing on the inside that I can control, and I did control it. And I want to be able to come back tomorrow and trade, and so I took basically a 2% loss on my account, and that's unfortunate, but that's sometimes what happens. Generally speaking, just so people know, my general rules are I'm willing to lose essentially 1% on a particular trade, and I'm willing to go and lose 2% or 3% for the day. I got to a point where I lost 2%, and I realized I was making mistakes, and so to control my inside, I just said, that's it, I'm done. So technically I could go and trade a little bit more, but I'm just not going to do it. I got to figure out why I'm making mistakes and go from there. TR, you have that 1 minute chart up. I'm just going to go and explain to folks.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'll post the chart later today to this video. I'll probably do it on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook channel, just because it's easier for me to post it there.
Okay.
But I'll put a chart up showing the trades I actually took. But if you look at the last 1 minute of the previous hour, you can see that there would have been a flip-flop box there. And if you look, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 aqua dots there. Hey, that's a great place where I can go long. And guess what I did? I went long, and immediately it went up, and it was up maybe 1 point after I took into consideration, spread and commission. I was only up maybe 1 point, and then it went and floundered all the way down. And it just on that first 1 minute it crashed. And then what happened was I went in and averaged in when it started to come back up. And that for me is a legitimate thing to go and do. So I averaged in, and when I averaged in,
Which candle did you average in on?
I averaged in on candle, the 1 minute candle on obviously the 1 minute candle on the 1 minute chart. So the first 1 minute candle, not candle 0, but candle 1.
Wait a minute, though. Are you talking about the hour? You averaged in on the second candle of the hour?
The second candle. Yes, the second 1 minute candle of the hour. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so I averaged in there, and what happened was it went right back up, and I got right back up to essentially where I had entered in on the trade. And when I entered in on that trade, and I actually got up, and I think I was up, basically about a pip and a half or something like that. And I said, oh, great, it's going in my direction. Yay, let's go and stack on. Legitimate place for me to stack on based on my rules. So no problem there. I did nothing wrong there. So I did two things right in a row. But then she collapsed. The market collapse went against me. Nothing I can do about that. The market's collapsed, and then it went against me. And what I then did was I went, and when it went below the 2020, I averaged in. And that was not that was a legitimate place to average in based on my rules. And it actually came right back up. And if you notice, it came right back on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is a minute 7 of the current hour. And it actually came nice up, and it actually brought me to a place where, guess what? I was at break even again. I should have gotten out, because my rule is for an average in trade, I don't average in to make profit. I average in to get out of a mess. And I should have gotten out, and I didn't. And then it collapsed, and now I got 3 trades going against me. I hit my limit for what I'm willing to go and lose for the day. And the reality is that I didn't respect my rules, because I should have been getting out of the trade at that point in time, and I didn't get out of the trade. And yes, it did go and come right back up to the 2020 area, but that wouldn't have gotten me back into being break even. So it was good that I got out where I got out, because I did follow that rule of saying, okay, that's it. I'm done. But the reality is that I should not have been in that trade. I shouldn't have been in that trade. And what I should have done is that if I had gotten out of that trade, okay, and just I'm just getting out of flat, okay, no harm loss. Maybe I'm down, a pip, or maybe I'm even up a pip. I would have been able to take advantage of that beautiful run down, and it would have been a nice, clean, entryway to get into that trade. And that's what happens when you don't follow your rules. When you don't control your inside, that's what happens. Because now I'm sitting here drinking coffee, looking at all these wonderful trades I could be taking, but because my rules are not allowing me to trade, I got to sit here and just look at all the money I could have made.
Yeah, I know. It's like we picked a video, and what did it do? It did a double O cross. It, came out off that 3 ball on the bottom. I'm sitting here myself thinking, man, I could have put 20 pips in my pocket during this video.
Yeah, and that's that I hate to say it, but that's trading.
Almost.
And I don't want to sound I don't want to sound cavalier about it, but that's the reality. And and I know somebody out there will go and say, well, obviously you should have continued trading. No, I shouldn't have, because my rules say that I don't risk more than that 3%. Well, you still had an extra 1%. You said you only lost 2%. You're right, I did. I lost 2%. But, I was making mistakes, and because I was making mistakes, I'd rather go in there and on the side of caution, you say, that's that, tomorrow's another day. We'll probably get some big moves this week because it's an FP week. Tomorrow we've got ADP numbers coming out. That's a good day, because what it'll do is it'll move the market pretty wickedly for a little bit, but then it usually flattens out and moves in a particular direction pretty smoothly. So there's more than enough time for this week to make up for this. I'll call it what it is. Yeah, it's 2% of my account. It's a small loss because I contained it. Gosh, if I had not done that, who knows if I would have continued making mistakes. I mean, you look at that move down, there are lots of places where I could have made mistakes, been faked out by the market or faked out by my own hand, and I'd rather not get into that mess.
Right.
So there's my act of contrition.
Yeah, but the question though is, as somebody who is as disciplined as you are, and how many times you talk about it, what caused you to go off the rails?
Who the heck knows? I really don't know. maybe I'll sit down with a psychologist one day and figure that out. But I think, I think part of it is, I think you hit on part of it. Part of it was the FOMO. I think that was part of it. I really thought that this thing was going to go, in my mind, we're going to go to your famous area, the launch pad, and, and there's a good chance it still will. But, hour early, get yourself into trouble. So I truly believe that. And instead of just going and trading what I was seeing, I was trading what I was hoping for. So there may have been an element of FOMO, of fear of missing out, and the reality is part of the average in. My second average in, originally I thought that was a bad average in when I first looked at it, but now looking at it on this call, no, that's not a bad average in. That was a legitimate average in. But at the same time, when I pressed the button, it's like, I probably shouldn't have done that. It was the first thought that came to my mind, even though it helped me out, or potentially could have helped me out. It was so I guess the part of it is the fear of losing. I don't know if you have one for that or not, but, when I pressed the button, I think that's truly what was going through my brain, was fear of losing. But at the same time, it was a legitimate average in call to take at that point in time based on my rules. Somebody else's rules that may be foolish, I don't know. But the thing is, it would have worked out. It would have gotten me out of flat, and that's all I'm looking for in a situation to get yourself in trouble. Get out of the flat, because that means you can continue on.
Right. So, we've got, fear of losing out, fear of missing out, regret of missing out. Like right now, looking at what just happened, from the double O, that's definitely regret. Regret of getting out when you, when you exit the trade and then they bring out a big plate of shrimp because there's more shrimp to be had. Like what happened to me yesterday. And then, the regret of being stupid.
Right.
So there's so many things, mentally that can play with you. And so, when you see that you're making a mistake, you just walk away. Like you say you like to do sometimes, go play with the dog or whatever, walk in the woods, and then come back with a clear head. Because I know yesterday I realized that I had hit my 4-hour limit. I go, you know what? I should probably quit trading because I was having a good day. But of course, no, I punched in again, and then it was just a comedy of errors. And so it's like sometimes we have these rules, but we think we're smarter than the rules. It's like, a simple algorithm is going to beat, your seat of the pants flying or trading. But we've got plenty of simple algorithms, H1 candle color at the line, M5 candle color at the line. It's hard to be simpler, but for some strange reason, can't seem to do it all the time.
Right, and I think that's just a natural thing to happen. And to put a positive spin on this, yesterday I had a very, very good day. Yesterday I made 3%, on my account. So today I'm down 2%. That means for the week I'm still up 1%. It's not where I'd like to be, but at the same time, it's a positive week. It's still a positive week. We still got 3 more days in this week, and so, there's still lots of room to have a very good week. And I think that, I got to go and be optimistic about what I'm thinking because, if you're pessimistic, I think you're doomed to fail, but, and I think we got some really good trading days this week still coming. It's just I got to follow the rules, and it could very well be that tomorrow I get hit with another bad day. Not likely, but it could happen. And you just got to say that overall, we know statistically, you'll come out at the top, and there's nothing to say that you can't have a week of bad trades.
Yep, and that's true because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it, fellow traders. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.